Brodes Media.
I loved everything about how this team went into that game knowing they would return to Philadelphia up 3-2. There's no doubt about it. Listen to me right now. There's a 1,000% chance that we are going to play at the Wells Fargo Center with a chance to close the series out. And they backed it up. But it's also baffling that the Boston Celtics just no-showed. Nobody decided to walk into the arena with fights. Jason Tatum had 36 points. He took a billion shots for those points. He was minus 26 or minus 28. That's literally impossible. They have an issue with Jason Tatum to start off games. If you're going to dig yourself into a hole, it's hard to get out of it. And when your best players can't shoot the basketball, you're in trouble. Credit Tobias Harris, credit the Sixers. But at some point, if he doesn't step the hell up, the Celtics have no chance. What probably happened is they took the Sixers lightly, thinking we will walk all over them. We already win the mental battle. We think they suck. The matchup causes them issues. This is the Boston Celtics speaking when they assess their second round matchup. Oh, by the way, we were just in the NBA Finals. Let's not overthink things. We'll be okay. Well, I hate to break the news to you. One team's playing determined, and the other team has a head coach saying, well, we had the intent to work hard. Excuse me. You had the intent to work hard? The fuck does that mean? You could say that about anything. If your intent was to play with more effort, but you sucked, what does that mean? See, it's not as if the Boston Celtics can hold their hat on the fact that they feel that style of play will work 9 out of 10 times. So if we stick to this game plan and we play this way again, we'll be all right. Because sometimes that happens. The Celtics, if they do that again, the Sixers blow them out. But this time, instead of booze being poured out, it's all celebration. The way the Sixers did this, though, stylistically, goes a long way. Now, I can't rule out Tyrese Maxey balling out. 30 points is outrageous, but if he gives you a strong 22, the reason why I was so down on it is because I've never seen it before. Once I see something, for example, James Harden. Okay, so he gives you 45 points. Track record after that on short rest, because remember, they had a while off. They swept the Brooklyn Nets, and Boston had to go toe-to-toe with the Atlanta Hawks for 6. The style that the Sixers did this with James Harden, after 45, I don't know, man. But once he gave you 40-plus again, now I can't rule out anything because I saw it. The age, getting tired, logging in a bunch of minutes, that was legitimate concern to wonder, with such short rest in between games, if James can do it on multiple occasions. Now that he's won you 2 games, I can't rule out 3, can't rule out 4. We know the 2-man game allowed for the Sixers to really go into cruise control offensively. When we interviewed Keith Pompey today, towards the tail end of the interview, I asked him about Joe Mazzulla and what can Joe Mazzulla do with the 2-man game defensively to try and stop the Sixers. And I thought his remark was awesome. Forget the Celtics. It's not about them. The 76ers have their hands right there. It's right there. It's in reach. If the Sixers control their controllables, that's what's going to make this happen. Forget Boston, forget strategy, forget this. And he's totally right. Also, put this into the equation. It's game 6. Normally by now, there's not much more you can do strategically. You've pretty much, especially when it's 2-2, that means each coach had their respected counter a couple times. So they've had multiple different situations to go back to the tape, go back to the film, and study what the opponent was doing to draw up something. Well, you're going to start with your strongest strategies. At some point at Game 6, you've pretty much seen all of the punches. And the Sixers have clearly been able to eat their punches. We put up a Twitter poll today, and there's really no wrong answer. But who impressed you most last night was the question. There was 4 options. Got about 1,000 votes. Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and House. And then James Harden got 2%. The reason I wanted to bring up this poll is because as I was mentioning James Harden, I mean, we got to recognize how important he was to the two-man game. It's not a one-man game. It's a two-man game. And not only can he target the rim and attack the hoop, he's doing things that he doesn't traditionally do, which raises the bar and the expectations. Catch and shoot threes. Like, you won an NBA playoff game in 2023 with James Harden having a catch and shoot three to win it. He's pulling up from the mid-range. That makes the two-man game much more effective. I'm just stunned in disbelief that in Game 5, James Harden didn't impress people more. Because without him, you got nothing. While it was more enjoyable to see Maxey with the ball in his hands and to him operate offense, James Harden, he puts so much pressure on the opposing D. And I don't know if the Boston Celtics can have the answer when they seem this off the rails.